Hey, Nikki.
Hey, Salina.
Hey, y'all, and welcome to this week's edition of Sweet Tea and TV.
Oh, that threw me. I was expecting you to say extra sugar.
Next. That's next.
Mixed it up on me.
Yes. Well, then also, maybe this will be a surprise for you too, Nikki. I don't know. We have reached our final character episode for the season.
That's brand new information.
And I have to say, we've reached my favorite golden gal of them all, Miss Sophia Petrillo. And somewhere, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you now, between this batch of episodes and learning more about Estelle Getty in real life, I kind of fell in love with that little nugget.
Little pocket-sized nugget.
You got any reactions to that, Nikki? Me declaring my favorite?
Yes. I had a knee-jerk reaction because it's a bold move to declare a favorite of these four women.
No, I'm bold.
You are.
But bold and aggressive.
If you're gonna pick one, Sophia's a good choice. She's iconic. And I say that in like the least trite version of that word. Like she truly is like a one of a kind sort of character. So it's a good one. I'll allow it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're entitled to your feelings on this particular topic.
We'll see if maybe I can make the case in this week's Extra Sugar. Maybe we'll not.
See.
We'll see. We'll see if I do it. You know?
We'll see if it's saved in your documents.
Let's see how this next 30 minutes to 1.5 hours goes. Okay. Before we get into all things Sophia, again, for our purists, here are the episodes that we watched in preparation to talk about Sophia. Every time I talk about preparation, I'm like, am I accidentally saying preparation H?
Oh, I didn't want to tell you, but yeah, you accidentally said it every single time you've ever said it. How embarrassing for you.
So embarrassing.
I'm pretty sure if you say preparation H, it's going to elicit a response from this gal over here, given that my humor level, my sense of humor, sits at about a 15-year-old boy. It's not possible for me not to laugh at that.
I understand.
I got your back.
Thank you so much. So, season 2, episode 2, Ladies of the Evening. This is the one where Burt Reynolds shows up. Nikki, thank you so much for including this one. Were you going to include it regardless, or is it really just at my asking?
I think it was your asking that included it. Because actually this one, and I had to sort of squeeze it in here, Sophia has kind of a minimal role in this one, but it's pivotal.
It is.
Without her, the whole thing couldn't have happened.
Yeah, she's the linchpin. The bonus of this one, of course, and actually what the episode is about, is that the ladies were busted for suspected sex work. It really is the episode that keeps on giving.
In so many ways.
Tailor-made for me. Season 2, episode 12, Sisters, the one where we get to meet Sophia's Sicilian sister. I don't know why the Sicilian part was necessary for me to put in now that I think about it, but I liked all those S's.
I was going to say, I think it's the alliteration. That's the writer in you.
Or the fact that I just wanted to hear people hear me go.
She also came back from Sicily,
she did.
2 visits. So I didn't even question it.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Season 3, episode 20, and Ma Makes 3. This is the one where Sophia becomes third wheel to Dorothy and her new boyfriend. Season 4, episode 2, The Days and Nights of Sophia Petrillo, the one where we get a sneak peek into Sophia's very rich and active social life. And in season 5, episode 7, Not Another Monday, the one where Sophia's friend Martha asks her to be there when she commits suicide. And season 5, episode 23, the Mangio Cavallo?
Mangia Cavallo, that's right.
I mean, it just really rolled off the tongue.
Apparently, Mangia Cavallo means horse eating or eating horses.
Oh.
Mangia, and I guess Cavallo means horses.
Oh, okay, great.
That helps.
That's beautiful. I have questions, but it's okay. The Mangi Cavallo. The curse makes a lousy wedding present.
Dig into your trip to Italy.
No.
Mangia Cavallo.
Yeah, but when you dig into my trip to Italy, it's me doing that with every small town.
Oh, right. Okay, fair enough. Understand.
Okay, anyways, it's the one where Sophia must confront the man she put a curse on after he jilted her at the altar decades ago, and it's no wonder he's out there eating all those horses. You want to walk us who Sophia, who threw that? Why don't you walk us through that, Nikki?
Happy to do so. Just gonna give you a second, collect yourself. So Sophia.
This is just our second episode that we've recorded today. I just want third.
It is the third, technically, and it came after grilled cheese.
It did.
So I want you to know that my summary of Sophia includes the tiny Sicilian. It's just so important to her character. It really is.
It is.
Anywho, Sophia, she's a tiny Sicilian. The tiny Sicilian with the wicker purse, the educational stories, I do educational in quotes, and the emotional grace of a wrecking ball. So she's played by Estelle Getty. She's the oldest of the Golden Girls, but maybe one of the sharpest. She's Dorothy's mother, Blanche and Rose's resident roaster, and the audience's favorite instigator. So as we've been doing, Estelle Getty herself is going to be the focus of our extra sugar, aka Salina, should she show up to deliver it this week.
Thinking about it, if I can even make it.
I don't know. You might want to send those notes to me. I might need to step in.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
Oh no, the transformation has occurred. So we're not going to go too deep on Estelle Getty. We'll get there. But it is worth acknowledging, I think, that actually Estelle was not the oldest actor on the show. In fact, she was younger than B. Arthur. So the makeup, the wigs, that helped. We've been talking about archetypes this season and sort of who plays what. I landed, poking around on the internet a little bit, I landed on the wise woman. Of course, she turns the dial up to like roast master as well. So she's wise and a little roasty. But she's like Dorothy. She's a truth teller, but her truth telling is a little more jagged at times, a little more maybe hurtful at times. Does that sound right to you? Did you come up with something different?
It's like Dorothy, raw, unedited, uncut.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
I think that's right. Sometimes she makes Dorothy look like Gandhi, you know?
A little bit, yeah.
She's also like the matriarch among matriarchs, you know, because these are all moms, you know? I mean, so I think there's something to that. She's lived a lot of life. She's a source of wisdom, even though it comes out in kind of funny ways and sometimes really funny ways, but
and sometimes really hurtful ways.
Sometimes the truth hurts.
It's true. I've heard that.
You know, I also would say in terms of archetype, I agree that first and foremost, she's the wise older woman or the crone, if we're doing like a more of a triple goddess kind of thing.
I was going to do the crone, and then something about the description I read threw me. And I was like, oh, maybe because it was like mythical or something. Mystical.
Well, it can be.
Yeah.
And don't take that power away from Sophie.
That's true. Maybe we don't know what's in that wicker purse.
Well, you know.
Maybe some potions.
That's right. I hope so.
She does whip up a mean Sicilian spaghetti sauce.
Yeah. Was it her lasagna for Nano?
That.
That's close. Anyways, I think I don't know. I like the triple goddess trinity thing. It is more mystical. But you know, I like mystical ladies. And Nikki's putting up with it.
We're making it step by step.
I was going to say she's also got, and this was Google that said this too, but I think it's accurate, which is she's like trickster energy.
Oh.
Because she's mischievous.
Yeah.
You know,
well, she's the instigator.
She's the instigator, and she pulls fast ones on like everyone all the time. And it's like pretty strategic and smart, and we see that throughout these episodes as well.
So if she were a Friends episode, she might be the one who says what we're all thinking. Like you're unfiltered. I like your Dorothy raw and unfiltered. Very similar to that. She also serves as the comedic pressure valve at different times. Like when things get really heavy, she's the one to sort of like release some of the tension with a funny line or something.
1,000%.
So let's talk the good, the bad, and like where she really falls apart, like where things get really ugly with her. I think she's super loyal. She might complain about Dorothy, but like if someone comes at her daughter, she is going to verbally accost them, possibly physically, using some weapon of choice. She's actually really compassionate, especially with people experiencing grief or loneliness. I think we saw that a lot in the days and nights of Sophia Petrillo. Mm-hmm. She's definitely a survivor, like surviving a fire at her elderly facility, right. But she also survived the loss of her husband, family members. She survived World War II, all the things, you know, all the things. So that's what I had for the good of Sophia. Did you have other things you wanted to call out?
I don't know if this works for everyone, but it does for me, especially in in her, and I think at her stature, but I love how feisty and almost aggressively confident she is.
Oh yeah.
She's like, I mean, you can come hang out, but I won't be here. I just kind of love that, and this batch of episodes for me really showed Sophia's more vulnerable side, and I think you were talking about this as well. It's this giving spirit in this fierce kind of love, and maybe sometimes in some unexpected ways, and a little softer than you would anticipate through some of these episodes, which was really nice. I think those are the ones for me.
Okay, so in terms of maybe the not so good, or some might even call it the bad, she can be really harsh. Sometimes you just mentioned sort of like you can hang out, but I won't be here sort of thing. Sometimes it's very funny, and it reads funny. It reads like a confidence. I love that interpretation. Sometimes it's blunt to the point of cruelty, especially with Dorothy. I see it a lot. Her appearance or her dating life, I could see where that is. Mother-daughter situation could be hurtful. And then every now and then she has jokes that lean into stereotypes that maybe haven't aged quite so well. Some of you expect that because she's an older lady. You're going to expect that. But that's probably some of the bad of her.
Yeah. I mean, I think for Dorothy, I called her out specifically the way that she teases her sometimes. Sometimes it is hilarious, but like in real life, it's like mean as hell, I called out the same things too. And ragging on her looks and it's not really something you expect from a parent, or maybe it is. I don't even know anymore, to be honest, but I'm pretty sure in the canon of television moms, let's put it that way.
Yes.
You wouldn't expect Leave It to Beaver's mom to do it.
Also, like, someone's genetics are responsible for what's standing in front of you. So
not in that case.
Don't throw the
There's about a 2-foot gap between them.
Fair enough.
But yes, I see what you're saying.
Throw your stones carefully.
Or, I'm like, we both fall on ends of that spectrum. But yeah, she has the same in it for Rose and Blanche. I don't think it's quite as bad, but she really does not have any time for Rose. Mm-mm. She is all, but like, you know what? That exists in me. Where she's saying out loud the things that I'm like, don't say that because that's rude. But
this is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. She just pulled the filter down.
Yeah, she's straight up savage. That's why that's what she gets on the T-shirt.
That's true. Fair point.
She's savage.
So where she really falls apart, I think you mentioned this a little bit ago. Like for me, she's a cheater. She's a cheater.
Oh, yeah.
She starts rumors. She's super manipulative. She is a trickster. She's a trickster. And I think it makes for really good comic gold, but thinking about a person.
Real life,
yeah, that would be tough.
Yeah, it's like a Dwight in the office. He's hilarious. But if I'm in the office with him, he'd be dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or he'd continue showing up every day and torturing you, and you'd just be really mad and dead inside, which is probably more likely.
Yeah, but guess who'd have to hear about it? So don't think you're getting out of this one, Nikki.
Oh, work,
So I hear it's a thing. So where you said this idea of everything falling apart, I agree with what you're saying, but when I was preparing for it, I had nothing.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
I was like, I love her.
And that's totally fair. I think, there's nothing that I don't watch any episodes of the show and think Sophia is a totally unlikable character.
Right.
This is sort of an exercise in what are her character flaws, what could be difficult for her roommates.
I did have one that really did kind of bother me. Okay. The one where she's the third wheel. Mm-hmm. And then there is that nice sweet moment between her and Dorothy where Dorothy comes in and she's kind of she's not unpacking. She's packing her stuff. Mm-hmm. And she's trying to tell her no, I made plans. Mm-hmm. So I believe two things happened in that episode. I truly believe that she was trying to get out of Dorothy's way and went and made friends.
Yeah.
I also truly believe that she could have worked a little harder to tell Dorothy that she really was going. Because Dorothy canceled her romantic plans.
was
Now,
a
I'll
weird
give
turn
you,
of events.
I'll give you a third twist. I kind of think, like, I understand why the guy was annoyed, but also at the end he was like, maybe we need to take a break. And I was like, because she has an elderly mom, you're kind of a piece of poo.
Yeah.
So I thought that was good that Dorothy got to see that. Then get out of here, dude.
Yeah.
But also, Sophia, make it clear. Show the tickets. Show the receipts.
Yeah.
Let Dorothy go get some on vacation,
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't mean to look you in the eyes.
I know. And it was like a lot of eye contact. And I think you're touching on some of Sophia's emotional blind spots, which is sort of the last thing I wanted to mention in terms of where her character falls apart sometimes. She does weaponize guilt. So I think she didn't work harder to tell Dorothy because she wanted Dorothy to sit in that guilt just a little bit longer.
Oh, okay.
I think she was sort of wanting to play that up. She dismisses Dorothy's feelings a lot. She shows favoritism toward her other kids, which I don't think came out very strongly in this particular batch of episodes, but it does come up in other episodes. I think there are 2 other kids, the son and a daughter, and she definitely shows favoritism, and it's not Dorothy, even though Dorothy's the one she's living with. Her competitive streak will override empathy or any sense of goodwill in almost any situation. And a lot of times if she's finding herself in an emotionally vulnerable situation, she's going to deflect with a joke. And I think that makes it really hard for people to connect emotionally with her, which can be a spot where you fall apart a little bit.
That's great.
Have I given more thought to Sophia Petrillo than any other human being on earth? I like to say so. I have an astute character evaluation.
It's our job.
Some would say
it's our unpaid job.
Our deeply unpaid job. So
it's for the love of the game.
It really is. I realized when I was pulling together shining moments of Sophia's from across the series that we actually haven't gotten to many of the moments where I feel like she actually really shines, because I am secretly holding them back for our heavy topics episode.
Okay.
Sick and Tired is one that we'll see her advocate really fiercely for Dorothy's health, which I think overrides some of that difficulty between Dorothy and Sophia. And I think it's wonderful. Old Friends, she has a friendship with a man who's ill, and the episode is just devastating. It's just a devastating episode.
Yeah, I get that sense.
It's similar to Not Another Monday. It's very similar to that. So in general, across the series, you get a complex character who early in the series is just a lot of comedic timing and a lot of help me, what's the word? Just saving a scene from being too heavy, just being the comic relief.
Yeah.
And then as the series moves on, we get more complex storylines for Sophia. And you get to see that she's difficult with Dorothy, but she truly does love Dorothy. Right. She teases Rose, but she really does love Rose. Right. She just doesn't like to be vulnerable with people.
Yeah, and I guess that makes sense too, since she wasn't really supposed to be on the show. Right. They probably needed some time to carve that out, where they, at least one would think, gave the other 3 characters some thought.
Yeah. So in terms of awards and acknowledgments, I just wanted to mention that she did win a Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Comedy Series in 1988. Just for funsies, I wanted you to know, Salina, the year she won, she was up against a designing woman.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Oh, so Delta? No. You would think I would make another guess, but...
It's kind of a trick question because she wasn't a designing woman at the time.
Oh.
It was Julia Duffy for Newhart.
Oh,
they actually were up against each other the next year too, I think.
That's some real trickster energy right there.
She also won a Golden Globe in 1986. And then she had lots of nominations throughout the run of the show.
You know what I found interesting when I was looking into the award thing? Just to kind of
I don't know. Tell me.
When it's for supporting actress or actor, there's not a pinpointed episode? Is it more like an amalgamation of the episodes, and then for lead actor it's different?
I think you might be right.
Okay, because I was trying to figure out
what episode did the same thing. You might be right.
Yeah,
that explains it better than my theory, which is they just didn't finish her Wikipedia entry.
Oh, wait a second here. Okay, I feel like I'm look what I found. But that's just called forgetting everything. Okay, she did win for Old Friends in season 3.
Okay.
And she was nominated for Sophia's Wedding in season 4. But she was nominated more than that, and I couldn't find the specific ones for any other time.
Okay.
And that's when I read the amalgamation of episodes. I don't think anyone knows what they're talking about.
I'm getting worried about the Emmys.
Yeah.
They don't know who was the first woman nominated.
I can't.
I hope you research that and get back to us.
Yeah, like I trust you, right? I don't understand what's wrong with the Emmys.
And maybe there was more digging I could have done. I got quite tired.
It really happens.
It does.
It does.
Okay, then the last thing I wanted to mention about Sophia is, I like to do the quotes from the actor about the character. So I found
sometimes I like to piggyback on you.
I know. So, and please do. I found a USA Today article that was written after she died that quoted Estelle as saying she was, quote, only a teensy weensy bit like Sophia. She said, I think people have me mixed up with my character. I would like to be as sure and magnanimous and feisty and strong and indomitable as she is. And I hope she said that much more smooth than I did.
I don't know. I often say feisty without the T.
And magnanimous. That was really hard.
Look, you want me to go back up and say the Italian name again?
Yes, please.
I make you feel really smart.
Then I found a 1986 Toronto Star article that said, I am like Sophia. I live with honesty. It's easier for me. I try not to be hurtful, but if I have something to say, I say it. When people tell long, boring stories and go on, I reach a point when I'll say, who cares? Is there a punchline to this story? So I think it depends on what day you got her as to whether she thought she was like Sophia or not.
Yeah.
And then I'm hoping you'll get to this in the extra sugar. Without spoiling anything, she was almost the reverse of Betty White in terms of career progression. So Betty started young and had a whole career by the time she made it to Golden Girls.
Are you going to let me tell this or are you going to tell this?
All I'm going to say is the last quote I pulled was about her long grind before she found success. She said, people who make it to the top when they're young have to worry about staying there. The nice thing about making it at this stage is that I don't have to worry about staying up here that long. Which feels very Sophia to me.
Kind of nice. I had a couple. So she said, I know this lady I'm playing. She's partly me and partly my imagination. But she's an original, and that's what I've been playing all my life, original characters. And let me tell you what I think is interesting about that. For all three other characters, I've been able to find a comp in Friends, Designing Women, and also in Sex and the City. I don't really have a straight one for this, or like a one-to-one.
I think Bernice comes close.
Close, but Bernice, I think, when Bernice goes through bouts where, but I think she tends to be a little softer, except for maybe later in the series.
Yeah.
And
when they saw it was working for Estelle Getty. Right down to the stroke explanation.
I'm telling you. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me, Nikki and I are playing footsie. It's a big day in Atlanta. I think that, but not being able to do that one-to-one necessarily, I think speaks to the originality of that. It's interesting. She's like brought in as a side character and made a main character. And so she brings that like side character energy to a main character position. And I do think that makes her incredibly unique. The other one that I wasn't anticipating finding was this quote. And I'm not saying it's a great quote. It's just interesting. The only time you'll see me as a Democrat is when I play Sophia. In the real world, I'm a Republican from head to toe. I have to say, though, I've digested a lot of information about her, and I'm guessing she's fiscally conservative and socially progressive, or was when she was still with us, because there's very little that I read about her that read conservative from like a social standpoint. She was raised in the theater, so which we'll get into, but I still thought that was interesting and a different time for her to be able to say that.
I was going to say Hollywood. The Republican Party of today looks very different than the Republican Party of, that was 91 or 92.
Oh, I don't have a date with it, but probably.
Yeah.
So, want to talk about some top moments that stuck with each of us?
I do.
Top 3 or 75?
Oh, no. So I have to admit to you that I think I watched an extra episode.
Oh, great.
I watched Fiddler on the Ropes.
Oh, you did?
And the reason I'm telling you that now is because one of my things I wanted to flag about Sophia's character.
Did you like it?
What?
Was it good for you, Nikki?
It was not.
Oh, it was not.
No, it's fine. It was fine. I was going to say.
Did not like this episode.
What is happening right now? I'm scared. There's something in a comment somewhere in a document that I'm not thinking of. What I was going to call out was the picture it stories, just in general. And the picture it story I was going to call out here was in that episode. She's telling Dorothy a story about herself.
Okay.
She says, "Let me tell you a story, Dorothy. Picture it. Sicily, 1920. 2 young girls pack their bags and leave their tiny village to seek fame and fortune and a meal cooked without oregano. Their journey takes them to a seaside town where a ship prepares to depart for the new world. They're just..." And then Dorothy says, "The new world? Hey, anybody can say Baltimore. There's an art to telling these stories." I thought that so perfectly encapsulates this. I'm going to call it a body of work that she has around her picture it stories.
Yeah.
They are not strict fact. They're embellished a bit.
Yes.
But you know what can you say? She's Sicilian.
Yeah. What can you say? We all know it. I know it. You know it.
We all know it.
And yeah, we're sitting here just
gesticulating.
We're descalating, which I don't know what that is, but it sounds just to the left of dirty. Anyways, okay. So for me, I didn't get to see that episode. How nice for Nikki. Season 5, episode 7, Not Another Monday. First, I just want to say that Sophia is outrageously funny in this episode, but then has like some scenes that were so emotive that my heart nearly melted in my chest. One, I will say for cheesecake moments, but in another, she tells the girls that Martha is planning to commit suicide. And when everyone protests in disbelief or like, just seems really shocked and everything, she says, "It's not whether you agree or disagree with somebody. It's whether you can be there for that person when they need you." But imagine that line was delivered beautifully instead of the way that I just did it. It's like really resonated with me and spoke so succinctly to what friendship is, what love is, because it's just kind of showing up. And I also like this episode so much because it reminds us that going back, she is the comic relief a lot, and she is the queen of one-liners, but she's so much more than that. And these little snippets, and sometimes even just in her face work is more subtle, but when it's there, it's really there. And she has this depth and heart that shine through occasionally, not a lot, but when it does in that way, it's really sweet. It's really special.
That was one of my call outs too. I think that she wanted, like she said, it's not about whether you agree or disagree, but we clearly knew where she fell on the issue. She didn't want to lose her friend.
No, how horrible.
But it wasn't her choice to make. So she was just going to show up and be there for her friend. The other one that I really loved comedically was season 2, episode 2, Ladies of the Evening. It's funny all the way through, but it's very funny at the beginning when the other ladies get these tickets and make it very clear that Sophia does not get to go. And so when they find out that the house has to be tinted, so they're going to go to this hotel, she says, "What? I get to go with you? I don't have to stay here and get gassed with the termites? Oh, Dorothy, you're such a good daughter." And then she says, "Jealousy is a very ugly thing, and so are you, Dorothy, and anything backless." That is a very mean line. It is also a very classic Sophia line. It is top tier. It is top tier takedown. It hurts.
Top drawer.
And I don't agree with it, but it's funny.
It's really the setup for every other thing that I'll probably share across this episode. I'm not saying I agree with it. I am saying I laughed. So my second top moment is really the whole conceit of season 4, episode 2, The Days and Nights of Sophia Petrillo. So I loved her as a crusader for the elderly in the grocery store for herself. We wind up finding out she's tricking the grocer into picking a good nectarine for her with this exchange. Hey, you got any decent nectarines? There's nothing wrong with those nectarines. Please, I got a bowl of wax bananas that'll be right before these are. You're crazy. This nectarine is beautiful. I never saw a more perfect piece of fruit. No? Then try kissing my behind. It's a real peach. But we wind up finding out, like, she's just trying to get a good nectarine picked out,
And doing it in the most New York way possible.
The most. And then a Southerner trying to relay that is tough. But then she ensures her friend gets a refund for like a crappy lamb chop that she got. And she pretends to be from all these elderly advocacy groups or whatever. But I thought what she said to her friend is really what rang for me, which basically her friend says, why don't you just ask for help? And she goes, help? You know who helps old broads like us? Boy Scouts and cartoons. We got to look out for ourselves. And yeah, it's not the most sunshiny view, but I think it's really easy for people to look over other people in general. And unfortunately, maybe especially easy to look over the elderly. And so I think it's great that she's finding a way to get what she needs. Later, we see Sophia conducting a group of older ladies in a jazz band to help make them some extra money. Kind of nice. Side note, do you know that that's an actual group of musicians?
No, I'm not surprised.
This was apparently a real group known as, at the time, as the Dixie Bells. Huh. And then finally, also in that episode, we are treated to Sophia as a candy striper extraordinaire. Does everyone get their run at candy striper on this show? I've seen half of them do it now. Yeah, that's
true. And I mean, it could never be Blanche.
Oh, I don't know. I think Blanche does it for fun.
I was going to say, not for volunteer work necessarily.
I guarantee you she has a candy striper outfit.
I think that's true.
But it's here that we learn that this daily nectarine that seems so random at the beginning of the episode is really for a little boy in the hospital who she's befriended, and he got HIV from a transfusion. There was a conversation between the two of them. That whole scene just really knocked me out. And the idea she comes from that generation. You just need some healthy food, kid,
Don't get scurvy.
And, and he says, she's the hope in that situation that they're going to figure something out. And I mean, it would take 7 more years, but 7 years later, we had HIV treatment. And we've talked about this in the Designing Women canon. And then we have an episode like this here. It's a big deal for HIV to have been covered even as late as season 4. I think that'd be 1988. So we're still a ways away. Yeah. Nikki's watching me count. It's difficult. We're still early-ish days in the epidemic. So what else did you have in
those were my top moments?
Okay. I didn't count. So you saw me counting on my finger. I'm like, she's either given 0 or 1,000. I don't know. All right. How about favorite outrageous Sophia quotes?
I definitely had "Try kissing my behind. It's a real peach." That one made me cackle. In season 5, episode 7, Not Another Monday, the whole bit with the host at the restaurant culminating with "Give me a hand and watch where you put it." Her physical humor in that scene is so freaking funny. That's one you can't laugh at until you've actually watched it. Like, if you're just listening to that episode, you're missing so much about that scene.
Yes, that one is also on my list. And it's like when he comes back for her and she's got her arms up in the air. Yeah, I mean, and she's like, I don't know, the first one was better for me. How about for you? Or whatever she says. It's really stellar. And it is exactly what you need in what otherwise could be
a really
quite a heavy topic. What else do you have?
The last one I had was season 2, episode 12, Sisters. And it's really her whole shtick in this episode. So she's trying to eavesdrop to hear her birthday present from Dorothy. And then Dorothy pushes the kitchen door to go talk to her or whatever and hears her groan. And then Dorothy had to yell at her to stop from listening in at the back door after that. So it's just one thing after the other. She comes into the room with a cane and throws it to the side when she no longer needs it. She wanted someone to feel sorry for her, and now she doesn't need it. She's consistently thwarting Rose throughout the whole thing. She outsmarted me. And Dorothy says, "You're kidding." And then she says, Dorothy finally has had it with all of her tricks. And she's like, "I give up, Ma. You win. You always win." And Sophia says, "I know, me and Mighty Mouse." And that's how I like to think of her, as a Mighty Mouse.
That's cute.
And then when she finds out it's her sister, "Happy birthday. You called this old bag a present?" That episode was chock full of good ones.
Well, I also had a favorite line from that episode. We didn't cross. I thought we might. But this one is, you dragged it out of me. My heart, it's a time bomb. But don't be concerned. Even though I've only made love in one position, I've led a very full life. I also liked...
Thanks for that information.
I'm like, I loved it. Season 2, episode 2, Ladies of the Evening. She comes in once, this is when they're actually in the holding cell, and she goes, arrested for prostitution. I can't believe it. Sophia, we're innocent. Oh, I know. How can these dumb cops think anyone would pay to sleep with you?
Ouch. That one hurts.
And then in season 3, episode 20, and Mom Makes 3, she is showing us her version of morning optimism and that super blunt disposition with these lines. I think this is Betty White. She goes, hi, Sophia. How are you this morning? My joints ache, my ears are ringing, and my butt dropped 2 inches on the way down the hall. All in all, not bad.
Not bad.
You want some breakfast? Not if you're making it.
She's peppy from the get-go.
She is. Peak Sophia. Where was she at her most extra?
So my observation is that we find her at her peak in a few circumstances. So one, when she's backed into a corner and comes out swinging, I would say this is sort of like a ladies of the evening situation. She got left out and she had to find a way to get herself back in there. So she steals the tickets. 2, when she has to stand up for or protect a loved one. Again, we haven't seen quite so much of this, but you got a sense of it in the Days and Nights of Sophia Petrillo, how she does what she needs to do. Or in the 3rd scenario, when she's just decided she doesn't care about anyone other than herself. So in Fiddler on the Ropes, she takes the money that these women were going to invest and she spends it on a boxer. And she does it without their permission. And in her mind, it's a sure thing. Long story short, the women end up losing the money. That is a very Sophia thing to do. So I think that one example I would give of her at her peak is in season 4, episode 2, The Days and Nights of Sophia Petrillo. And you already went through this, but like that entire grocery store fiasco, like all of it, from giving the manager a tough time, about her friend's product return. He offered to give her a free nectarine, but she couldn't stand not paying. So she haggled over it, haggled him down. And then after all of that, she says to her friend, don't just stand there like a lump on a pickle. Give the man a quarter. Okay.
Don't just stand there like a lump on a pickle. I really think I need to borrow that one.
It's great.
Yep.
It's great. It's peak Sophia.
So it's so funny because I was thinking about just what this category is. And it's like me trying to tell you when a Hershey's bar tastes the most chocolatey. You know? Like she's just Sophia. She is peak.
She's peak all the time.
Yes. But doesn't mean I didn't come up with some answers. So in Sisters, when she's sitting in the dark, when Dorothy comes home, she's upset about her lousy birthday gift. And then this exchange happens. First of all, just her laying in the dark. Like
so dramatic,
whining and being dramatic. Yeah, so hard. But she says, "This is Dorothy actually. Ma, you want better presents? Adopt Monty Hall. I wish I could. Jewish sons are the best. They give great gifts. They always call you. You don't have to worry about them getting hurt playing sports." And she like throws her hands up. It's also funny because she has 2 Jewish sons in her life.
When she loves deeply.
Deeply. Yeah. When she's really working the gals, especially Rose, that was also in mine on the birthday gift. Like that was.
It was just so extra.
It was just like the whole time.
Every turn.
It's a great example of that trickster energy though. Mm-hmm. So even telling the one you didn't say that was really funny though was telling Rose she'd hit someone, like the neighbor. Oh. So that she could run back in. So terrible. What an a-hole. I love it.
You're going to try that next time on Casey.
Maybe. This one actually comes, he knows I hate surprises. This one comes courtesy of Dorothy's boyfriend, Raymond. But in the third Will episode, but we get some insight into her peak table manners. And when we're through with dinner and she begins to pick her teeth, I promise I'll ask her to keep them in her mouth. Did you have others?
No, I don't. I think that'll be me one day.
I got only for lucky. So the curse episode, her curse.
The curse of what?
Don't know. Mangianello.
Mozzarella. Montevalo.
Provolone. Okay. Sorry. Somebody's going to want to punch me in the face. Anyways, so this is what she says. I put a curse on him. A curse? Nothing fancy. I remember I said, Giuseppe, from this day forward, may you and all your future generations never know true love. May you be sterile, and may all your offspring be sterile. May your hair never lie flat, and may your socks always slip down inside your shoes. That last one's really mean.
That's pretty annoying.
There's nothing worse than a sock in your shoe. And also in that episode, it was great because every time his sock slipped down in his shoe, and she'd be like, yeah, got him. How about, whoops, that didn't age well.
Well, again, this was mostly season 4, episode 18, Fiddler on the Ropes. Mm-hmm. Sophia would say immigration to get Pepe running, and she accused his piano teacher of trying to turn Pepe into a, quote, sissy boy. Those didn't feel good with 2025 glasses on. And then she talks about cross-dressing a good bit, like in The Days and Nights of Sophia Petrillo, when the woman in the waiting room tells her husband's about to get prostate surgery. And Sophia tells her she went through it once, and the lady's like, you had prostate surgery? And Sophia's like, I'm not a cross-dresser. She uses that terminology a lot, which didn't age particularly well.
Yes, I think, and you had mentioned that maybe it was in the opening episode where we talked about
or the B. Arthur episode.
Yeah. So you had talked about the fact that happens with kind of poking at her son.
Yeah.
And so there was one of those that wound up in one of these episodes, and something about a cousin and a girdle. There's definitely like a fascination there with her character and that part. And I think some of that really does ring true for someone who's like much older and like what was once considered taboo. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, yes, think that hits the cutting room floor today. Mm-hmm. My other one was just, and it had nothing to do with Sophia, but in Ladies of the Evening, in the jail cell, we had a lot of stereotypical characters in there with the ladies that I was like, these aren't great.
Yeah.
And that kind of made that episode a little tough in some of those parts. Even if whatever Dorothy said towards the end was really funny. And they said something. She said, I've been to Attica. And she's like, that's only for men. And she said, I know.
I did love that.
Yeah, then the woman backed down.
I did love that.
It made me laugh. Cheesecake moments?
I think the biggest cheesecake moment for me was, the whole episode of Not Another Monday, but in particular when she tells her friend, we're not in this life for peace. I thought that was a really beautiful line because her friend is saying, like, basically, I'll finally know peace, or, I can finally rest. And Sophia's like, that's not what this is all about. We're supposed to explore and experience things and do things. And I thought that was really beautiful.
That's lovely. That also made one of my cheesecake moments.
What are your other ones?
Yeah, are we only supposed to be doing one?
Just as many as you want, Salina.
7. It's like the whole show's like a cheesecake moment.
I just pick out the stuff that means the most to me.
Yeah, I liked her and her sister making up at the end of the sisters episode, and it was really maybe the best part was Dorothy being so annoyed with them and just being like, good Lord, I hate both of you. One person's cheesecake moment,
That's true.
It's another person's vinegar. Season 4, episode 20, Days and Nights of Sophia Petrillo. And this is, so while Sophia is out living her best life, the ladies are at home bonding during a rainy day.
That's true.
It just kind of like cuts back and forth. And that is like, honestly, it felt like a real day that you would have with your friends, this day where you're like, we're supposed to be getting something done, and then you just kind of BS around the whole time.
Well, the best part of that is that they spent the beginning of the episode criticizing Sophia for not having more going on in her life.
Exactly.
She needs more friends. She needs a hobby. Meanwhile, she's out there taking on the world, and they're sitting inside in their PJs.
It's almost like the writers are brilliant.
It's almost like that.
But what I didn't know in all of this was that Blanche was a long-lost member of my girlfriend group when she suggested this idea. I know. Let's rent an adult video, drink mimosas, and French kiss pillows.
French kiss pillows.
I don't think so, Blanche. Fine, I'm out of ideas. You think of something. I love how
the well's dry.
I love how much these ladies love dirty videos.
It's just two of them. It's just Blanche and Sophia.
Well, I love it.
It's just your two favorites.
The other two just aren't watching them.
Sticks in the mud.
All right, I'm out of cheesecakes. Oh, I do have some designing women relations.
I do too. I do too. You go first.
But I'm afraid I'll steal yours.
Well, and that's not about stealing. It'd be great if you stole mine.
Okay.
Then that means our brains were in the same place.
Okay. Well, I think if I leave my second one, it might be the one that you have, but we'll see. So Sophia's best friend's name who died was Bernice. I don't know if you caught on to that or not. Okay.
Maybe.
But anyways, speaking of Bernice.
B. Arthur's original name was Bernice.
Well, there you go.
That's her birth name.
I think my soul just left my body. That's why that was that pause. I was like,
so many designing women crossovers.
Just outside my window, right there. Speaking of Bernice, listener Adam tells me that Designing Women's Bernice, played by Alice Ghostley, shows up in the Mother's Day episode in season 3 as Stan's mom. Did you know this?
I think so.
Okay. This
I would know it if I saw it.
Well, so there you go. So this has to be the tee up for my fanfic about Sophia and Bernice wreaking havoc in Shady Pines together. That's my fanfic.
Okay. All right. I'm trying to think of a name really quick.
Also don't want that episode to fall away. I think we should compile a list of episodes that you feel like we've missed.
And go and just do like an extra episode.
Or nothing.
Oh.
It's our choice.
Oh, okay.
But if we decide to do I'm giving us an out. I'm giving us an out, okay? It's been a busy season. But if we have time and we want to do something with all those extra episodes, we could.
I'm still stuck on coming up with the name of the series.
Yes.
I'm sorry, of the
Yeah, I know.
fanfic.
Oh, girl. I
It's
know.
not the Golden Palace. It's not the Golden Girls. It's the Golden Old Folks Home.
Ooh, that's got a ring. The Golden Shadies. I don't know.
The Golden Institution. The Golden Sad Place.
Oh, that's lovely. We'll come up with it. Or
Well,
if anybody has any ideas.
Go ahead and tell me your other Designing Women connection.
It's about Raymond, the boyfriend. Really? Okay. Yay. Okay. So Raymond.
Mine are way less exciting than this.
This is in the third wheel episode.
Okay.
Okay. So he's played by James Karen. He played Mr. Kearney in the series finale of Designing Women. In case you don't remember who that is Kiki's husband. I know you remember Kiki.
I remember.
So they're the couple with the plantation looking home.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. It was just driving me crazy because I was like, he looks so familiar, but I don't know who he is. And then I looked it up and there you go.
Well, my other ones are far less exciting. I just wanted to note that we got another Deliverance reference, and we talked a lot about Deliverance in Designing Women. So I think that was in the Burt Reynolds
yes.
episode.
I'm like, how did I miss that? It definitely wasn't that one. Mm-hmm.
We also got a Charles Nelson Riley reference, and he showed up in LA Story in the final season of Designing Women. You remember they crashed his house or whatever? Well, this was in, I don't remember which episode, but, it was Ladies of the Evening. They're talking about all the people, the Burt Reynolds episode. They're talking about all the people that are going to be at this party. She's running through the list of people, and then she goes, Charles Nelson Riley, and the whole group is completely silent when she says that. I still can't figure out why they were totally silent when she said that, because a few years later, he would have been relevant enough to have been featured on a Designing Women episode. So I'm not quite sure, but what I will say is that Betty White appeared in numerous episodes of the show Match Game in the 70s with Charles Nelson Riley. So, I think they were personal friends. So maybe it was just a joke, but, the whole room went silent.
Yeah.
When she was mentioning Lonnie Anderson and so, everybody's like, oh, yeah. And she gets to Charles Nelson Riley, and it was total shade.
Well, maybe someone will help us understand.
It would be nice. I also just wanted to mention for your knowledge and
I like knowledge.
The girl's reaction to finding out that Blanche got those tickets to meet Burt Reynolds might be the most amazing bit of, I don't want to say acting. It was the best reaction. The way Dorothy is jumping up and down at one point, and there was a dance involved.
Yeah.
That might be one of my favorite moments of the series.
Oh.
It was beautiful. That's how I imagine I would react if, like,
To Burt Reynolds?
No. So I was going to put it in my own context.
Taylor Swift.
When Taylor Swift goes on her retirement world tour and I get tickets and I'm 90 years old and she's 83.
Quite a bit.
I know.
Okay.
Because it makes me feel better about my personal age at this point.
I also love that your happiest moment needs to happen in retirement. Which I think is like, it tells you like a lot of things about you.
And about the state of the world.
Delayed gratification.
Okay, and then the last little bit of trivia I have for you relates to that scene in the jail.
Yeah.
The young girl who sits up and says, there's nothing wrong with being career-oriented.
Right.
That's Rue McClanahan's niece, Amelia Kincaid.
Oh, funny.
They were very close. She talked about her in her book.
Okay. All right. I love it.
So is that it?
That's good.
Are we done?
I think we're good.
Uh-oh. Next up, are we going to talk about Rue McClanahan's memoir?
We don't really know what we're doing next. Let's leave it as a surprise.
Next up, it could be that or it could be something different.
Yeah.
Ooh. In the meantime, we'd love everyone to follow along with us. And I feel like there's some context needed. We're still deciding.
Well, yeah, we've got a lot of different opportunities.
We've got options.
Yes. It's rare.
We'd love everyone to follow along with us and engage at Sweet Tea and TV on Instagram and Facebook, at Sweet Tea TV Pod on TikTok. On YouTube, we're at Sweet Tea TV 7371. Our email address is sweetteatvpod@gmail.com. And our website is www.sweetteatv.com. If you are so inclined to support the show and help keep us moving forward to whatever that next thing is going to look like, you can tell your family and friends about us, rate or review wherever you listen to the podcast. And then you can visit the Support Us tab of our website for more ways to support the show. And then for extra sugar this week, Salina, what do we got?
Oh, I didn't care for that. First of all, I'm over here laughing because I was thinking, like, what would it look like if we just, like, attach some of our utility bills to Patreon? It's like, help Salina pay her electricity bill. Help Nikki pay her car note. Support the show.
I just want to buy holiday decorations. Maybe I need a holiday decoration fund.
But you don't want other people pick. Okay, yeah, fun.
Fun.
You don't want people picking your decorations.
No.
That's crazy. Yeah. So Thursday, come back for.
Need everyone to know I've got the basics in life covered. I'm fortunate in that way. I just want holiday decorations.
Well, I just like a pragmatic gift.
Something you're going to use, like power.
It's the holidays. We're talking about coordinate door decorations downstairs with all the neighbors. I mean, they were looking at our power plugs. I was like, uh-oh. So Thursday, it's an extra sugar all about Ms. Estelle Getty. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Was I supposed to give you more?
I'm so excited.
Are you?
I can't wait for the surprises.
Temper your expectations.
That's what you always say to me. Then I start sweating.
Thank you for being a friend. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.